Hey everybody, so yesterday I wrote a blog post and said that I was taking off for the weekend, and I wanted to do a quick vlog about what I've been up to in Final Cut. I guess to start, I'll go over what I was doing in the early stages of editing as far as piecing together the parts of the film that were way more scripted early on. When I was doing that, I would mostly use Punakia, and I would use the browser. Maybe if I wanted to have a certain mood in that part of the film that I thought a sky shot would go well with, I could just click and it would funnel down for me, and maybe I would want maybe just a sunset, and it would just keep funneling it down until I could run through and just use quick look to see what some of these shots were. So that's what I did for the first kind of 20 or so minutes of the film. I was looking for specific things and I would put them in a specific order. And now it's kind of come to a point where there's a part of the film early on where Larry is done with his trip, and there's a little bit of him dealing with the difficulties of just settling back down when your trip is over and getting used to being in one place again before it goes back to a more linear version of his bike trip again. So for that, the tags weren't working at all. I have these two hard drives. This is one hard drive, this is another, and each one is completely full of footage from the trip. They're a terabyte each. So for the linear part, it was just very, very incredibly basic editing. Basic even approach. I didn't even use the assets bin in Project Pedal for my footage. When I dump all of the media in the assets bin, it can take like 15 minutes sometimes for Final Cut to open if it's all in the bins, and it gets cluttered way too easy. So I was just using a program called Forklift. So this was my first of the two drives, and I just went through one by one, clip by clip, and I kind of looked at what the shot had. If there was anything worth using, then I would just grab it and put it in the Final Cut, kind of pick out the pieces that I liked, and I would drop it in. And that was it. I did that one by one for every single shot. Some are much more easier than others. And when I finished the second drive, which has the last of the footage, short of all the personal videos that Larry took and some of the 16mm film that was developed, when I finished that, I'll probably media manage the project. I'll just probably move these clips somewhere separate from all the footage that wasn't usable at all. And I'll have near a 5-hour cut probably, which, to be honest, needs to then to fit into the part of the film that this is supposed to cover. That's probably going to have to end up being around 30-40 minutes. You can see as of now, each one of these little things is an individual clip. If I zoomed in, you could probably tell better. So I don't know exactly how many shots are in here as of now, but it's quite a few. And it took me a long time, but it was actually a lot of fun to go through one by one and to look at the footage all over again, because I watched it all when I logged it, and then after I logged it, I kind of stopped looking at it for a while, and I went back to writing while the footage was pretty fresh in my head. But after a while, the writing kind of got slower and slower and harder, and it just felt like I needed a completely different approach, set aside that part of the project. And it was actually a lot of fun to just go through one by one, to rewatch the footage and to not have to do so much work when watching it. Because before I was paying attention to just everything, the colors that were in it, if it was windy, if it was sunny, if it was morning, what part of the country Larry was in, if it was wide, if it was tight, if it was both, was there a pan, was there a tilt. It was really exhausting to go through and log all that information. But now that I have it, it has been incredibly helpful. when I need to find a specific camera movement in a specific place, it takes me all of 10 seconds using just tags, but that's it. I feel like I'm kind of rambling now. So yeah, one more drive left. It'll probably take me another 2 or 3 weeks to go through it all. Also, sorry if I'm really hard to understand. I'm still very stuffy. I haven't been able to breathe out of my nose very well for a few weeks, but I'm working on that. It's allergy season in Michigan, apparently. For the first time, I feel like I'm getting ahead on everything that I have to do, not playing catch up constantly, which is a huge relief. It really kind of lets me focus more. I will tune in soon with another update. Probably I'll be halfway through a drive when I do my next video, so I'll let you know how it's going. And that's it. Everybody have a good weekend. Bye.